So yes, just let everyone know, let your teams know as well before we get the ball rolling. Awesome, awesome. So it is 8:05. Um, Once again, if you haven't already done so, just let your teams know as we go ahead and get started. And the gentleman we have on tonight's call, this is a gentleman who has a lot of information, has been doing a lot of great things in the solar industry. And he's actually going to grace our presence tonight with all of that information. So a young man that I've known for quite a while now in the solar space, even though we live on both two different coasts. But I've been able to learn from him, watch him grow in the industry, and get better from a day-to-day basis. So not only does he know all of the information about solar, but he also knows the information about making money in this business as well, as he's been extremely successful in his career, in his solar career, and he's actually going to share that information with us tonight. So all the way out from California, Mr. Pete Abrams. Are you on the line, sir? Can you hear me?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. The call's yours, sir.
Awesome. Thank you, brother. Yes, thank you very much for that kind introduction. I'm happy to be here tonight. Glad everybody's on here. If you're a guest, make sure you put a one in the chat or something. Let us know you're a guest here for the first time, second time. If you're not, remember to bring people with you. Obviously, this business grows by duplication, and we're just getting the word out. So tonight, folks, you may or may not be interested. So here's the point. Here's the point. And we got one more person. If somebody can let the people in as we go through here. This thing keeps popping up right in front of my face. So I'm going to get started really quickly. Before I do, just so you guys know a little bit about my background. My name is Pete Abraham. I'm bilingual. I speak English and Spanish. I served in the U.S. military, in the Navy to be specific. I also had a detailing business, which almost every guy that the lawn route had back in the day. I got a real estate license, got into that, got my mortgage license, got my life insurance license, as well as my notary public license. And here I am in solar. In 2006, the real estate industry was great. Oh, this is great. Everybody's making money hand over fist. And then what happened in 2008, 2009? Right? So I'm looking at a little classified ad on a thing called Craigslist. And I was just kind of messing around, but at the same time, I just keep my options open. And I saw a little ad for something called solar. And I wanted to learn more, so I responded. 3 weeks later, I'm hired. I took it because I wanted to learn. I could work, do my stuff. So if you're from the solar industry looking at this for the first time, you are actually in the right place. I'll tell you some stuff tonight. I no longer have to drive 5 or 6 thousand miles a month. I no longer have to compete for leads with people where they've given them all to everybody else or cherry picked them already. I no longer I can work with real estate people. I can work with insurance people, and more importantly, I can work with homeowners who hate their electric bill. So feel free anytime. If you're a homeowner and you hate your electric bill, put one in the chat, folks. Have some fun tonight. You have to understand the reality of what this business can do for us. So without further ado, I'm going to get into it. I'm going to see if I can share my screen. Idris, if you can tell me, there comes David Ramos here. If we can, thank you, sir. Mr. Bean, thank you. I'm going to share my screen, see if I can bring this up, and just let me know if you can see where we are here, and I'll get right into it. Sometimes this thing makes me go full screen on this before I can share. Okay, and I'm going to go to slideshow. If somebody can let me know, Idris, if you can let me know that you can see my slide deck, I'd appreciate it.
Absolutely. We're all good to go.
All right, and thank you, sir. Appreciate you being here with us again, coast to coast. Everywhere's in between. People working from outside the U.S. doing this, folks. What you're about to see tonight is a big deal. Make sure you're muted. If we can mute that person, whoever that was, I'll get started. All right, looks like we're good to go. 510, I'm on, tracking. Build your mindset. What is the BYLD Network? We're here for a couple of reasons. First of all, we want to work with people to build their mindset, build their business, and build their net worth. I think those are all admirable causes. and one without the other is a recipe for disaster. So who are we as a company? When you look at the company and you look at something to join and who are we and what do we stand for? We are a direct sales company and a community of like-minded entrepreneurs. We believe in independence. I know I do, for sure. Anybody who's ever served, I believe in independence. I believe in being able to make my own way. This company believes in that. We believe in lifting people up, bringing people who are willing, not the lazy people, the people who are willing. And so we're looking for people tonight who have an open mind. We're looking for people who want more to life. We're looking for people who maybe haven't given the chance. And after tonight, you won't be able to say that you haven't been given the chance. So let's continue. Why should you build a business, especially in today's economy? And this line is interesting because nobody is coming to save you. How many people, I'll give you a minute, how many people have called you in the last 30 days and said, listen, I'd like to give you a raise. I'd like to bring you home to work instead of going to work. I'd like to cut your commute. I'd like to cut your gas bill in your car. And I'd like to let you do it all from home and be closer and spend more time immediately with your family. How many people have offered you that in the last 30 days? Entrepreneurship used to be a should, now has become a must. When you think about that statement there, people used to have, okay, I've got my day job and, maybe I'll try something on the side. Here's the thing, put your hand up or put a one in the chat if you know somebody, if not yourself, that's always looking for a hustle. I know a lot of school teachers. I know a lot of people. We live in an economy now that's changed a lot of things. And I think it's partly because of this debt crisis, layoffs, inflation, higher taxes. We know all about that in California. Higher interest rates, bankruptcies coming back, recession. Hopefully not, but guess what? It looks that way. And job displacement. Lots of people have lost their job lately. I won't spend too much time on it, but it seems to continue and continue and continue. One of the reasons that nobody would have thought of coming out of the left field was AI. But let's just look at some of these jobs. Microsoft, 10,000 jobs in 2023, 10,000. Intel, 300. T-Mobile, Google, another 12,000 jobs. Cisco, 5% of the total workforce. And these are big companies, GM. So it's very interesting that, as you can see on the right there, not only that could unravel the economy, you might be one of the ones that unfortunately gets laid off, but it could affect your investments. How's that 401k doing? So these are all things that, let me tell you, you do not control. And I want to impart that upon you tonight. Is it makes sense to do something that you can have some type of control over. Like I mentioned before, how many people are looking for something extra to do, hate their job, hate their boss, hate the fact that they haven't had much opportunity, and now they're looking or going and doing things, as you know, this one, Uber, Etsy, Airbnb, Shopify, all these things online. People are looking up how to start a business. But guess what? Most people don't have $250,000 to start a business. And I think that's probably fair to say, right? But what do most businesses cost to start as well? These are all things we have to think about. And so that's why we live in the age of the gig economy. And what do we look for in a business opportunity? I don't know about you. When I first started in solar, I was all happy. I thought, well, this is kind of something different and new. And, we changed the pace for me. And then I thought, this is great. But then in California, I don't know if you guys know, but in California, you don't tell somebody the time. You don't say, hey, what time are you going to be here? You count the time, not the miles, right? You don't say, well, it's 10 miles. No. You say it's an hour and a half to go 2 miles. Right? So what to look for in a business opportunity? Something with a big target market and a low market penetration. So that makes sense. Essential goods and services. Do we want to offer something that everybody's going to use regardless if the economy's up or down? Or do we want to offer things on a whim that people are going to cancel, like their gym membership or something, something else when things get bad, including even life insurance? Not something you should cancel, but people do all the time when the economy gets low. Why do I say that? I work with a lot of life insurance people as well as real estate and mortgage, and show them literally how they can enhance their business. They're already the trusted person. They're the expert that they go to. If that's you, I'm talking to you. And guess what? It's something that everybody's going to use with or without you. So why not be that person to them? And the industries, like I mentioned, that will thrive in good and bad economies. We don't want to have something that's just going to disappear tomorrow because the economy goes bad. So what services do we actually offer? There's 4 sections here. I'm going to talk briefly, just an overview, but I'm going to talk briefly about a couple of them. We have our security division, we have our BYLD rewards division, we have our smart money club, and we have our Encore Solar and Freedom Forever. That's what I'm going to talk about mostly tonight. That's my background. Majority, that's my background in this. Like I said, 15 years doing this business. And guys, you can do this and you can keep it simple. You don't need to know a lot about solar. Sometimes it's actually preferable not to know a lot. I jokingly and lovingly call it people that come in, they know too much, and we call them solar divas. But that's not anybody here tonight, because you're coachable, you're willing to learn, and you're willing to let somebody show you how to duplicate, because that's what this business is all about. So let's talk about solar for a second. Think for a second what the temperature's been outside your house in the majority of the country right now. California, triple digits. So why get involved in the solar industry? Size and the timing of the opportunity. And I can tell you the timing of this particular Zoom tonight that you're on right now couldn't be better. It's not December, it's not October, it's not April where they have the lowest bill they have. It's, guess what? They just opened their bill and just had a heart attack. 130 million homes in the US, 90 million are eligible for solar. That's 3.5 approximately that have gone solar, and about 87 million homes are eligible and still without solar. My question to you tonight is this: how many of those homes are you going to help go solar and provide for your family, make an extra income, make a full-time income, make a legacy change income? All of that is available here, and we're here to show you that tonight. So why solar for consumers? What's in it for them? Obviously, we want something that's good for the homeowner. We want to make sure that they're taken care of and that we benefit them long term. So how about saving up to 50% on energy costs? Most people don't have a tremendous amount of money in their bank account right now. So how about if we take that excuse away and have zero down with various financing options? If I could offer you zero down and save you 20, 40, 60, 100, 150, $200, depending on where you are, how many of you would rather pay less than more? Put a 1 in the chat. Blackout protection using batteries. How many of you know somebody, aka Texas, California, Florida, hurricanes, fires, floods, whatever it is? How many of you ever had your power go out and it was out longer than you want it to be? I'll give you a minute. What have you been able to do about that? The answer is nothing until now. We offer that through blackout protection. Also, tax credits. If you qualify, you might be eligible to receive a tax credit of up to 30%. So you want to make sure you talk to your tax professional about that. But hey, I have never seen my utility give me any type of tax credit for anything. So all I know is if I qualify, 30% beats zero. And we can agree on that. An immediate increase in home value, obviously, if you're purchasing a system, which we do both, purchase, lease, PPAs, that kind of thing. Listen, if that's the case, an immediate increase in your home value. From a real estate standpoint, that's gold. And then clean energy, just doing the right thing for you, your family, your children, your grandchildren. So in 2022, someone went solar every 44 seconds. That's less than a minute, folks. And that was 2022. I could tell you 2023, that number went even more in the right direction. So let's talk about our installation partner. Obviously, people ask us, who does the install, or, are you in California? How can you help me in Florida? Well, I can help you pretty well in Florida. Why? Because we use a local installer. We use Freedom Forever. Freedom Forever covers the majority of the US. And so while I live in California, if you're my client on the East Coast, guess what? You have access to the same installer we do. These people work for their W-2 employees, and they're not like subbing it out or anything like that. It's actually done through people who are going to show up and get the job done. And as a result, you can see their rating on the right-hand side there, an Inc. 5000 certified company for that. So that's who we use. Obviously, it makes to have an install partner. They also have a 25-year production guarantee. So what does that mean? Guaranteed power, guaranteed return, lost savings, and a guaranteed production. So we happen to be with the only solar panel installation company that 100% guarantees the amount of energy that your solar system produces. And let's say the power, something happened with the system and there was a result of the system malfunctioning or whatever it might have been, which is rare, but if it does happen, they will actually cut you a check for what you missed and had to draw from the utility. Good luck trying to find that out there, right? And if you don't have solar at all, guess what you have? You have no electricity. And in many parts of the country, that's becoming unacceptable. So here's the states we cover. Dark green is the actively installing. The light green is the coming soon. And the room to grow is the gray. Now, there's always somebody who goes, oh, how come that gray one? I know my cousin wants to do this. Here's the thing. They're always going to be looking for what makes the most sense right now, which usually is the areas with the highest prices, aka California, East Coast going through the roof, other places starting to catch up. And then there's some of the coming soon ones where we're getting licensing or things like that that might be needed to be involved in those. But again, the states that are dark green, no matter where you live on the globe, we can market in those areas and help them. That's 66% of the US and more to come. So a great footprint to be doing what we're doing. So this picture right here is quite interesting. And it says, what do you see here? Now you might have to look a little bit close. I don't know if you can see a lot of it, but the bottom line is a whole bunch of roofs, right? Roof space. I can promise you at the least tonight, let's go ahead and mute there.
Got contacted.
No problem. Okay, so look at those roofs. And I can tell you, when you get in the car, no matter where you live in this great country, I can tell you something right now. You will never look at houses the same after this call. And you'll see tonight when we talk about money and how you can benefit a homeowner and what can you do for them. But if you were just to look at this picture right here, you realize that most of the homes don't have solar. Some don't qualify. Some won't. The shading will be too bad. Just doesn't, the roof has no space, whatever the situation might be. Or maybe they need a new roof, which we can help in the solar agreement. So a lot of opportunity here, folks. Let's talk about a couple testimonials, just so you know, from California, from the West Coast, $287 a month before solar. Okay, so $287 after solar, $148. Folks, it's not just about the monthly that you can save, but that's a great benefit, right? We don't want to tell people, oh, just I'm going to lower your payment. We're not in a race to the bottom, folks. We're here to help people, and we're here to make a living, right? We're here to make a difference. Put a one in the chat if you agree that should make sense. We're here to make a living, give a fair deal, not the highest, not the lowest, a fair deal, because we know what happens with the lowest. Guess what? You probably don't get good service, and they're out of business 2 weeks later. Let's look at Florida. Big homes, $410. That'll catch your attention. After solar, $290. So great savings. A friend of mine, a vet in the industry, and just a good friend of mine, says a solar sales presentation is not a presentation, it's an IQ test. And folks, I actually jokingly, I will say that with people at the beginning of my presentation, because in reality, between us that's looking at this as the business right now, it is an IQ test. Put a one in the chat if you would rather have your bill go up rather than down. I bet you nobody put the one in the chat right now, right? It's common sense. So that's why we say that. So let's look what the future holds for us from now to the future. If I look at this on the left, today's payment in this example is $150. If you base that on a 6 to 8% annual increase, you'll see in 10 years you're about $300. That's almost double. How interesting. And in 30 years, you're at $1,500. Now, if you're whining and complaining about your electric bill right now, this summer in 2024, what do you think you're going to be doing 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 15 years from now? When some of you retire as well, if you're that age, and now you're living on less than what you could afford to live on before practically, and now your electric bill's through the roof. You guys, why I'm going with this. Why would you not control something that you 100% have a chance to control? Why would you not control it if you're a homeowner and let it go up on you? My question is this. If I could save this much money that you see on the screen, $171,000 in savings over that period of time, what could you do with that money? Would it be better spent for your family, your kids, your grandkids? Or would you just like to make utility rich, even though they never call you and never ask you to vote before they raise your rates? I'll give you a minute. Why not lock in your electrical cost with no money down, a potential 30% tax credit, and take that, or stick with what you're doing right now? So folks, we have literally a lot of options that we can offer people. We'll get into that later. If you're here tonight looking at what we do, there's training. You're going to find out about that. You'll get back with the person that invited you. But listen, my job here tonight, I'll finish on this slide, is simply this. Don't take it, even though you probably said yes to what I've said. Everybody hates their electric bill, trust me. Even the people on a discount plan who have a medical issue or something and they get a discount, do you know that their bill goes up just like everybody else's? It's just so they get a difference. So if my bill went from $100 a month to $300 a month, your bill might be 30% lower because you have some kind of a medical condition or low income, whatever it might be, and that's what's going to happen. But let's finish with this. Somebody you all know just by his face, energy deregulation will be the largest transfer of wealth in history. My question to you tonight is, you've seen a little bit about why not you, why not the timing now? But listen, would you not listen to one of the richest people on the planet saying that above insurance, above real estate, above other things that you've heard about, that energy deregulation will be the largest transfer of wealth in history? So it's my honor to have someone here tonight to tell you about how to transfer some of that wealth into your pocket. Matter of fact, a lot of it instead of the utility. And this is a gentleman I've recently gotten to know, I guess maybe a year now or something like that. But folks, he'll tell you his own story. But this is a gentleman who's made a lot of money. Let's just say, when I say a lot, it's several zeros in this industry. As a matter of fact, he's made that kind of money in 3 or 4 different industries. But I won't steal his thunder. Let me switch it over. Mr. Samuel Bean, are you there, sir?
I'm here. Can you hear me, Pete? Can you see me, Pete?
All right. Yes, sir. It's all you.
Awesome, guys. Well, you can put some ones in the chat, for that awesome first half of the conversation, guys. And again, Pete gave you guys some nuggets and really put you guys in a position where at least you have a thumbnail sketch or a nice little shot of the industry of solar, and you can always get more information. But again, make sure you celebrate them, because that was a great job. And so, well, when you look at that slide that he's got up there for you guys, the one on Warren Buffett, I always tell people this. For me, I don't take advice from people who I wouldn't trade places with, right? And when I look at people like Warren Buffett, I look at the moves that they make financially. And for a person, of his stature, one of the richest people on the planet, to actually invest, $10 billion in the clean energy space, in the solar space, to double down on what he said when he talked about, how energy is going to be the biggest and largest transfer of wealth out there, the regulation of the energy. Guys, you got to listen to him, right? You got to believe in him, not because he said it, but because he invested in it. Okay. And so again, when you look at, what we're talking about tonight, like, Pete said, myself and my wife, we've had a measurable level of success. And for me, coming from humble beginnings, just literally from government assistance and things like that, to the point to where my wife and I have actually earned 7 figures in 3 different industries. First industry was real estate. Second industry was coffee and commodities. And the third industry was in investment. Right. And this is going to be my 4th industry, 7-figure, 8. I think this is going to be my 8-figure industry here. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, when you look at first movers advantage, guys, Pete showed you a slide that you only had 5 million homes out of 90 million that qualified for solar. Okay. Which means that timing is perfect. Anytime you get into a situation where you have a lot of people to communicate with and talk to, and a lot of people to sell to, guys, if it's a high ticket situation, there's a lot of money to be made. Okay. I used to make, when I was in coffee, I used to make maybe $15 to $20 per box. Now here, every time I do a deal, guys, on average, I'm making $3,500. Okay. And so, as you can see, I'm working smarter, not harder. And I'm going to just tell you, for most of you, and I don't know you, okay, but for most of you who actually have a job on this call today, you actually make two sales about $7,000 a month, right? 2 sales on a part-time basis will actually help you out earn what you make in your current position on your job. And it's only a few of you where that don't apply to, but I'm talking to the masses that does. Imagine, guys, waking up one day where you can actually log in on your computer, grab your cell phone, make a couple of phone calls, and set somebody up for an appointment to look at solar. We have one of our experts have a conversation with them, and on your behalf, you're making $3,500 to $7,000 per transaction on a part-time basis. That's where I want to start this conversation from. Okay. So when you look at personal sales, Robert Kiyosaki said that's one thing that when you look at your own efforts, YOE, when it comes to that, our company is very generous. They actually pay out 70% commissions of 70% of commissions to the people who actually originate the deal and the people who actually close the deal. Okay, so in this example of $10,000 profit, that $10,000 profit will yield a $7,000 commission that will be split between you and the closer. Okay, now this is the thing I want you to understand, guys. Remember, a person who does one deal a month, right, on a part-time basis, that's $3,500 per year per month. That's a little bit over 40 grand per year. Think what would 40 grand? Just take a moment. What would 40 grand a year do for you and your household, you and your husband, you and your wife, you and your kids? What kind of lifestyle would you now have? Look at the lifestyle you have now. Would it go from, barely making it to actually having some lifestyle and enjoying life, enjoying living, not regret waking up and having to get in the traffic? How many of you would go to work a little bit different, knowing that, you make enough money to be happy at work now, right? Think about it for a second. Then how many of you would take you from a good life to a great life? Because it doesn't take much. Okay. But I'm thinking $40,000 is a really good start. Okay. And so in order for you to appreciate the big money that I'm going to talk about, I just need you to appreciate, the small money first. Okay. So $7,000 between you and the person who closed the deal. And guys, the person who closes the deal, we call our closers mentors, because they don't just close the deal. They don't just go and put a bow on it. What they do is they educate the person who brought the deal to the table so that person can one day become a mentor. See, our whole entire process, guys, is cyclical. Right? It's organic promotion from within. Guys, we have a system that educates and empowers the people who are novice, people who don't have any experience in this industry like myself, right? And so I'm a newbie to the industry, but I'm not a newbie to money. I'm not a newbie to business and things like that. So, but I'm a newbie to solar. Okay. So, but becoming a mentor is very, very simple. We simplify it to the fact that where you only need to bring 3 deals to the table, allow the actual mentor to close and train you while they're closing that deal. You're learning through the entire process. After that process is over, guys, you and that mentor, obviously, you split that deal 50-50, those deals 50-50. But when you do the next 5, as you do the next 5 on your own, and you still get coaching and advice from the mentors, okay? But you get 100% of that transaction on your own. You bring that deal to the table. So instead of getting 3,500 of the 7,000 in this example, you're getting the whole entire 7,000. Okay, so now you're going from $40,000 a year to $80,000 a year, right? With one deal, the same deal, right? Just from a different place of positioning. Okay, but once you complete the company certification, you go from being able to get a 100% deal, doing it your own that you bring to the table, to now people in the company referring their actual deals to you to close and become their mentor. That's the beautiful part of it all, guys. Okay. And so now you can sit back and not only bring your own deals to the table, but build a name for yourself where other people can now trust you to help them close theirs. So as a mentor, guys, here's an example for you guys. And let's say you find 4 different people, right? You find 4 different people who want to become mentors. They bring you their first 3 deals, and now you have 12 deals that you're helping people close. And when you do that, that's $3,500 a deal. That's $42,000 in commissions. That's per month. That's, guys, that's $500,000 per year. Okay. And so know this, a very small percentage of people in the US make $500,000 a year. It's less than 10%. Okay. And so just want to let you know, you put yourself in a whole entirely different tax bracket when you become a mentor and when you start helping and serving the masses. Okay. The next thing you want to look at when it comes to this company is this: you go from bringing deals to the table, getting paid a referral fee, to becoming a mentor, if you choose to become a mentor, everybody doesn't want to be a mentor, but if you choose to be a mentor, that's great. And then you can actually develop a sales force, guys, and become the founder of the feast. Right? And every time you actually bring a deal to the table, guys, every time that deal is closed, obviously you're going to get your port. But when somebody that you personally enroll brings a deal to the table, right, you're going to get an override on it. And your override is 20%. Okay. And so that 20%, again, is on everybody directly that you personally enroll. Now, when you and your directs have at least 10 installs per month, or 10 installs in a 60-day window of time, you become a manager. And at that point in time, you give yourself a raise. Okay. And so that goes from 20% to 30%. But now watch this. When your manager, when your team members bring in people, right? You have people down in depth, you're going to get 10% on every transaction they do down to infinity. When I say bottomless, guys, no, it can be 100 levels deep, 1,000 levels deep. It doesn't matter. Somebody comes in, does a deal, you're going to get 10% of that deal. Okay. 24 deals get done in a 60-day period of time, guys. You now get a promotion to direct at 35% on your frontline people, your direct people. Every time they actually do a deal and get an installation, guess what? 35% of the commission. Okay. And when it happens down in infinity, beneath them, 15% of the commissions. Now, 70 installs in a 60-day window of time, guys, that's executive director. Okay. That's 40%. Frontline overrides, 20% down into infinity. Okay. So now you start to see how important it is or how impactful it is. Okay. Because it may not be important for somebody, but it can be impactful for everybody. If you actually have team members and those team members are doing deals, and now you're getting, huge returns from when it comes to bonuses and overrides. Now, but this is where the profit sharing starts. This is where the community-wide pool starts. Now you get 2%. You get a chance to be in that 2% pool and get a chance to get paid on every transaction that happens all over the U.S. Okay. National director, guys, anytime you and your team in a 60-day window of time put 120 team installs in the actual system, now you've given yourself not just a raise, you're giving yourself a lift, right? This is 45% frontline overrides, right? So anybody on your front line, anybody you refer to the company, they do an install, 45% on everything they do. 25% on the deals that are done down in depth, down to infinity. 5% company-wide pool, you'll be entered into that pool. And now every time something happens globally, you get a chance to get a piece of a bigger pie. Okay. And so, guys, this is huge. Again, so building a sales team, a sales force, you can actually come in here and not do one install, but if you have a sales force, you can still make 6 figures a month. Okay. You can make 6 figures a month without doing one install yourself. Okay? And so that's why when you look at, the highest paid professionals in the world, we'll have people we already have a person out of Atlanta, Georgia, who made $100,000 plus in April, right? Did 28 mentorship deals, right? But you'll have people who will make $250,000 a month just on overrides, and they will not have done a deal or closed a deal. Remember, sales is one of the highest paid professions in the world. It's not the highest paid. Leadership is the highest paid profession in the world. And people who are able to mobilize sales forces, they're the ones who make the fortunes. Okay. So I just want to put that on your spirit. Okay. You can come in here and you can have a great life, guys, without enrolling one person, without having anybody on your sales team. It could just be you, yourself, and you, right? And you're going to do well. You have the ability to do well. But why not, leverage, the efforts of others. Okay. But manager, here's a visual for you. Yourself personally, you bring in your frontline directs, 30% override on every install they do, 10% override on the entire team down in depth. Okay, down to infinity. So manager, 10 consultants, and let's say they all do one sale each. Right. And with those 10 consultants, let's say 4 come from your first level, 6 come from anywhere else on your team down in depth. That's about $6,300 in this example. We're still using the $10,000 example. And keep in mind, guys, that's just us under promising and over delivering, right? We have people like Sarah George over in Baltimore, Maryland. Last month did several deals, right? But one deal netted her $15,000, which means that between her and the mentor, it was a $30,000 bonus, right? That they split. So keep in mind, I'm giving you small raw numbers, okay? But $6,300 overrides. Now you do one deal yourself as a mentor. You bring one deal to yourself. You bring it to the table. You close it yourself. That's $7,000, right? That's $13,300 a month in earnings. That's $150,000 per year in part-time on a part-time basis. Okay. Now you double it up, instead of 10, you have 20. Okay. Everything doubles. This example. So now it's $13,800 in overrides, and you're still only doing one deal that you brought to the table yourself. That's 20 grand a month. That's $250,000 per year. Okay. How many of you guys can actually get by on $250,000 a year? All right. I know we got some really rich and wealthy people on here. I know some of you guys have some chump change, some spending money for your shopping money, but just want to know who I'm talking to, right? But we are a high ticket sales company, guys, and we have more than just solar to offer you. Like you've heard about Freedom Forever with our residential sales, and then you have Watt Hub, which is in 48 states, right, for our commercial sales, our commercial solar. And then you have our home and business security, guys, that's brought to you by ADT and Brinks, right? And again, names that people know, names that people value. And when you look at these transactions, these are transactions that are a lot easier to get, actually. And you talk about some right now money, some money that you don't have to wait on. You get paid the very next week, $400 to $700 per transaction, per sale. You have people already doing 2 to 3 sales per week in security and home security. Right now, I'm in California and just had lunch with the owner, right, of the company. And the things that we're going to roll out this month and next month, guys, are going to blow your mind. And these are other things that we're adding to our business model, right? This is what we're having. We're building a business model where people go to shop for opportunities, right? And so, again, get ready. So to participate, guys, to onboard, get yourself started, open up your own company, you can do one of 3 things, right? You can become a referral partner as an affiliate, which is free, won't cost you nothing, right? And you get a chance to now refer solar deals. And guess what? You'll have access to a back office system, and you'll have access to trainings. And so you'll have access to leadership and consult as well. But what you're going to do is you're going to earn $500 to $1,000 per install, okay? Because again, you're an affiliate. You didn't pay anything to get your brokerage started, okay? And so even though it's free, it's a referral fee. Now, consultant, however, for a consultant, $149 one time for a sales consultant to open up their own solar brokerage, and $49 a month for the support and maintenance and monthly overhead, right? Now you're actually in a position where you get your nationwide solar business. You can do business in all 50 states from a recruiting perspective. You can do business in 48 states from a commercial perspective. You can do business in 36 states from a residential solar perspective, right? But you have access to everything, all the support that you need. And if you actually enroll 4 people as a consultant or higher, guys, you no longer have a $49 monthly overhead, right? And so, but you can now go out and you can sell those same installs that would have got you $500 to $1,000 as an affiliate will now get you $3,500, $7,000, $10,000, or $15,000 like Sarah George, okay? So the other thing is this is where you also start to override on the sales, okay, of your sales force, okay? And so that's a beautiful situation. Now, the position that everybody gets started at or everybody upgrades to that really sees the vision and the big picture is the builder package. So you're literally building yourself a solar brokerage, but you're also adding some other components to it that bring immense value to this package. But that's $199 one time, as you're now in business for yourself, not by yourself, but it's only going to cost you $99 a month to run your operation. Okay. So with this, obviously, you're going to get everything you get as a sales consultant, but you're also going to get access to our Smart Money Club and the remote and the rewards program. Okay. And as you can see at the bottom, you refer for and you pay no more. You know, my first month, I sponsored a lot of people. I brought a lot of people in, building a sales force right away. Therefore, I've never paid the $99 per month. Never had to. Okay, because it went away. But let me go into the very valuable parts of this membership. Okay. So when you look at the Smart Money Club, guys, this is a membership that I can't say enough for. Honestly, I personally would have charged a lot more for it because there's a lot of valuable, resources here that people take for granted because you almost got it for free. Okay. And so when you look at each and every last one of these categories, guys, if you're on social media, you're on Instagram, you're on YouTube, you see people advertising these programs and they're charging you $2.99, just to get some access to some information. Then they're charging you $5,000 for you to actually get full access and coaching and mentorship, for just one of these things, not all of them, right? But for that extra $50 a month, guys, you have access to everything that you see here. Financial mastery section, guys, credit repair building. So you have some people who didn't qualify for solar. Guess what? They can actually now take advantage of our credit repair building, get their credit score up, and then qualify for solar, right? Our tax planning. Tax planning is very, very important. Obviously, you don't want Uncle Sam coming and taking the money that you earned because you're going to make a lot of money. Being your own bank, IULs, insurance policies, showing you how to now, instead of borrowing from financial institutions, you're borrowing from yourself and borrowing from your insurance policies, tax-free retirement, all this good stuff that you're going to learn. And then on the other side, business mastery, the entity structuring, establishing corporate credit, access to capital, good versus bad debt. This is a lot of stuff, guys, that they're giving you. And I say giving it to you, and adding more and more value onto it. But again, I just think that the amount that they're giving it to you for is actually to your personal detriment, because anytime you don't invest a lot of money in it, you don't take it seriously. Okay? But please take this seriously, because we don't want you to be like an NFL football player that 18 months after they leave the league, they're broke. A lot of athletes like Antoine Walker, who made $100 million and has zero to show for it, right? And say the worst thing that you can tell a person is that, man, I used to make millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you have nothing to show for it because you were financially illiterate. Okay? And so the ability to make money is one thing. The ability to keep it, sustain it, guys, and scale it is a whole entirely different thing. Okay? Economics is a language, and you want to learn it. So when you look at the rewards program, guys, savings is in your earnings. Every dollar that you have that's still in your bank account that was supposed to go out to somebody who was going to make a profit, that then becomes your profit. So when you're saving on things you're going to do already, like eat, shop, and travel, guys, it puts you in a position where now you can take those savings and now you can invest those savings in something, right? You can take those investments and make it work for you, right? As far as the travel, I love all of it, but the travel is for me. For me, I love the deals that I get on traveling. Came here to California and basically saved on my suites. Went to Las Vegas a couple of months ago, stayed at the Venetian, saved $29 a night, right? And so I'm always going to use my benefits. But this is the thing about the membership. The perks and the benefits that you have on that side of the table are amazing. They're extremely valuable. But this is what they lead to: residual income. And for those of you who can read my shirt, it says prick and not the one that you are used to knowing or accustomed to knowing, but it's perpetual residual income builder, right? And so that's what my life is being built around. That's what my lifestyle has been built around. That's what my freedom has been built around, right? That's why me getting a chance to stay at home and this whole entire summer and every summer with my kids, be there when they wake up to work out with them, all this stuff comes from residual recurring income, me not having to be anywhere at all, because the money comes back every month like clockwork, but bigger. And that's what I want to share with you guys. When you actually have a sales force, guys, and they have the membership, it puts you in a position where you can earn anywhere from $500 a month to up to $250,000 a month. And guess what? You can earn $250,000 a month without selling one installation and without anybody on your team making an installation, sale. This is totally different and exclusive, right, from the other part of the compensation plan. So when Pete talked about how much money you can make, guys, you can make multiple 4, 5, or 6 or 7-figure income in any part of this company's compensation plan, from the sales to the sales force. Okay. So with that being said, this is what we want you guys to do. Okay. Want to get back to the person that invited you. Tell them you really do appreciate them giving you an opportunity to tell them yes or tell them no. Okay? But like Pete said, this is an IQ test, not a presentation. So you're going to tell them yes. And let me share with you why. Because regardless of what you like or didn't like, guys, you can afford free. And the affiliate position is free, right? For those of you who have to think about it, great. Think about it with the affiliate position, free position. Get that link, sign up. You can always upgrade, but make sure, for those of you who are serious, you see what we have our hands on. You're that person that I was looking for something. You're that person that says, you know what? I'm tired of living check to check, month to month. I am tired of not being able to take my kids on vacation. It's the summer and we have to stay at home. Whatever it is, I'm tired of driving this car, living in this house. I hate the zip code. When you wake up and you look up, your ceiling is too close to your bed because it's a small house. I don't care what it is, but whatever it is for you that says, you know what, I need something else. I need more money. Get started at the builder pack, $199 one time, and let us show you how to just not just get that money back on your car, guys, but let us show you how to build your own solar brokerage and now transition to the next chapter of your financial life. All right. Right now, we're going to go ahead and release the line. But before that, I want to let you guys know that at the top of the hour, guys, at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, you have Mrs. Brenda Nava doing the Spanish presentation for our Spanish speakers. And the energy is always electric on those calls. So I would suggest you guys jump on as well. But it's been a pleasure having this conversation with each and every last one of you on behalf of myself and my friend Pete. We look forward to working with you guys and help you guys get to your goals. So take care, guys. We'll see you guys at the top. We'll see you guys at the bank, and we'll definitely see you guys at the beach. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.